Hey everybody, this is Kerry with a weekly look ahead at what the astrology has in store for us from August 10th through the 17th. So as you can see, I've got I switched my layout here a little bit. I got feedback that it was really hard to see the charts on small screens. So we're trying to one type of chart. Sorry, North Indian chart people, you're just going to have to deal with the South Indian chart here. I like the South Indian for this type of thing because you can really see the signs. They're in one location, and I think it might be a little bit better of a choice for what I'm doing here on these weekly shout outs. So let me know what you think, if this works better for you. So we're looking at Sunday the 10th of August through the 17th. And we start out with just coming out of the full moon in Capricorn by Sunday morning. You can see that the moon has moved up there with Rahu. So Sunday and Monday, we're looking at the moon and Rahu. Tuesday and Wednesday, we're looking at the moon with Saturn. In addition to the moon being with Saturn, it's also going to get the aspect of Mars while it's there. So after a week of the moon moving through basically clear space, which if you're choosing a good day to do things astrologically, that's one of the hallmarks of your choice is, hey, try to get the moon to be without too much other influences. So just so you know. And I don't know, you guys let me know in your comments, how did it feel last week with the moon kind of on its own and then waxing? I mean, that's a strong moon. We had that going last week, but with the caveat of a retrograde Mercury still operating. Tomorrow on Sunday, that's the big deal. Sunday, August 10th, we're going to see Mercury go into direct motion at about 10-11 degrees Cancer. So you can see up here, I'll point to it. This is the I don't know if the thing's coming through. Anyway, Cancer is over there on the right hand column. And when we look at these South Indian chart, we go around, things move around clockwise, except for Rahu and Ketu or any retrograde planet, it's moving anti-clockwise. So that's how things move in this particular chart. So Sunday, we've got Mercury going direct. That should clear things up or settle things down a little bit. My advice is to always don't jump into things right away that are mercurial, making contracts, big business decisions, that kind of thing. Like, give it a few days. And let's remember too that this particular week, we've got the moon moving through Rahu's territory and Saturn's territory, and the moon is waning. So while Mercury direct might bring some clarity, the moon waning and going through some difficult spaces, I would just say wait, this week may not be the week to do the big things. Let things settle down. Okay, so this is Sunday's sunrise time. Okay, so things are going to look different when I click it forward to Monday. So with Monday, we've got the moon and Rahu very close. This day is particularly interesting to me because look how close the moon is. It's going to go through Rahu's zone. And then take your attention up to Venus and Mercury in the upper right corner. Venus and Jupiter in the upper right corner. Monday, Tuesday is when Venus is catching up with Jupiter and making that exact conjunction. And that's 18 degrees, Rahu moon at 24 degrees. That's pretty close when we're talking about aspects. And right now, let's remember that Rahu and Jupiter are already making a mutual aspect. They both aspect in 120 degrees angles from each other. So this whole entire year, until Jupiter does its little dip into Cancer, we're having this mutual aspect with Rahu and Jupiter. It feels like a lot of growth, and we can make things grow and move and do with that aspect, mutual aspect between them. And this week it's getting really close. Rahu's moving backwards, Jupiter's moving forward, Venus is joining Jupiter. It just seems like something interesting could happen this week, particularly. So this is Monday, Tuesday morning. Okay, Tuesday morning before dawn. I'm talking 4 in the morning, somewhere. If you get up early enough and the skies are clear where you are, you will see that Venus-Jupiter conjunction in the eastern sky before dawn. So if you're into it, go do that. Really early Tuesday morning. So Monday into Tuesday. This is what we're looking at. All right, clicking to Tuesday. So this is Tuesday. Tuesday, Moon has gone in to join with Saturn. And Jupiter and Venus has moved past Jupiter. So get up early, check it out. I think we're going to feel a shift. So Sunday, Monday, we had the moon with Rahu, and it was involved with the Jupiter-Venus thing. Think about Jupiter and Venus as the helpers. I grew up in Pittsburgh, PA. That's where Mr. Rogers was from. So I've always looked for the helpers based on his sage advice. Let's us do that too. Especially Sunday, Monday with the moon in with Rahu and Jupiter and Venus involved in that big combo. Look for the helpers. Find your clarity. The Mercury's direct. You may not be able to fix everything on Sunday and Monday, but you might at least get a little bit of a settled feeling. Okay, so then Tuesday, Wednesday, we have the moon with Saturn in Pisces. So that's tough. The moon being with Saturn is always a little troublesome. Saturn is a lot of pressure. There's a lot of detachment with Saturn. The moon is emotional and sensitive. So anytime there's a moon-Saturn interaction, it can feel a little emotionally tough. In addition, we're having Mars aspecting the moon during this Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, Friday, because Mars will aspect Pisces and Mars aspects Aries. So Mars's aspect feels like heat, it feels like power, it feels like agitation on a bad day. And last week's theme was Mars and Saturn are in tug of war. There's a lot of pushing and pulling with a Mars-Saturn opposition. And at this point, Saturn and Mars's opposition is loosening, but it's still hitting Pisces. So Tuesday, Wednesday, we've got Mars hitting Saturn and Moon. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Mars will be hitting the Moon in Aries. So that's happening. And I'm going to take a minute here to point out something. If you keep following me and you keep watching these weekly videos, I'll probably say it again. But when you're looking at these little charts that I'm showing you, the underlines, in case you're wondering what does an underline mean, it means retrograde. Planet is retrograde. So at the moment, you can see that Neptune and Saturn in the upper left corner there are both retrograde, and pretty close too. By the way, that's another thing to track this week, is that Saturn is moving past Neptune again. I don't talk a lot about the outer planets, but that's an interesting thing. I feel it's a very Poseidon energy, oceanic. And hey, the Ring of Fire has really been waking up, hasn't it, with earthquakes and volcanoes. So Neptune moving those tectonic plates around. Anyway, what I'm trying to say here is this Rahu on Tuesday. Please note that the underline is gone. I've been obsessed with checking Rahu direct and Rahu retrograde. So generally we think of the nodal axis as moving in retrograde motion. It does. There are actual days where it jitters and wobbles and goes in direct motion. So we're going to have that for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and maybe even to Friday this week. So it's interesting. I want you to tell me in your comments if you notice anything different with a direct Rahu operating. Maybe it's a little less chaotic. Maybe it's a little more clear. Opposite Rahu things. So let me know. Let me know what you think. We're in this together. We have to figure out what these things mean. All right, so this is Tuesday. This is Wednesday. We've got Moon up here in Pisces still with Saturn. And it's moved a little past the Mars intensity. So really Tuesday looks intense, I think, because of Mars and Saturn both really close to the moon. So let's see, things might be ironing out a little bit on Wednesday. You can see that Venus has moved past Jupiter by this point. Over there in Cancer, you see Mercury and Sun, direct Mercury. The Sun is getting close to moving out of Cancer. All right, this is for Thursday. So Thursday, we've got the moon has moved to Aries. Thursday, Friday, that's the theme. So again, Mars is hitting Aries, but the moon will be alone. At least not with Saturn. Moon and Mars are friendly. But remember too, we have a waning moon going on here. When the moon is waning, it seems like our physical bodies can get a little tired. Our mental selves can get a little sensitive. So maybe plan to, as toward the end of the week, emotions might get a little ragged. So plan some alone time, plan rejuvenation, give yourself some self-care Thursday, Friday, Saturday of this week. This is Friday. So Friday, the moon starts out in Aries. So most of the day, Friday, the moon is still in Aries and waning. And here's Saturday, next week, August 16th. The thing of August 16th is that the sun is going to move into Leo on that day. So the end of this week, the sun is bailing out of Cancer and moving into Leo, which should be exciting. I'll talk about that more next week. Because Leo right now means, hey, the sun is getting in its own sign, but it's also moving into contact with the nodal axis, which means eclipse season is nigh, and we'll be getting a couple of eclipses in the near future. And so this is Saturday. Moon goes to Taurus on Saturday. This is an exalted moon. That's great. Except it's waning. It's getting a little bit weak. It's getting closer to the helpers and the helpers territory though, and it's out of Mars's range. However, it's moved into Saturn's range. Saturn aspects Taurus right now. So I don't know. I just feel like this week compared to last week could be a little bit, it could be dynamic. It could be emotional. Again, moon going past Rahu and Saturn. Don't get triggered by things. Plan in advance to take a deep breath and handle things before they happen. And that'll be that. So I'm just going to poke us into, this is next Sunday. I'll see you again next Sunday. But the sun will have moved into Leo. Mercury alone will be in Cancer. Venus will be moving toward the end of Gemini. And the moon will be waning. So we'll have a moon moving toward the new moon next week. And that's all I've got for you. Actually, by the end of the week, look, the retrograde symbol has gone underneath Rahu again. And that's about it. So let me know what you think. Maybe this layout works a little better for us. I love your comments. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in with me. I appreciate it. Have a great week. Take care.